Hey guys, welcome to another online math class. This video will be about drawing straight line graphs. And by the end of this lesson, our goal is to know what a linear graph is, be able to create one, and also be able to create a linear graph using a CAS calculator. So just pause the video here, take a couple of moments to write these down. Alright, so let's start off with what the word linear means. So linear just means straight line. So when we say linear relations or linear graphs, these are just straight line graphs. Some examples of the equations of linear graphs are below here. And if you have a look at them, the general pattern is y equals a number multiplied by x plus another number. So let's start with the first one. If I rearrange that, that becomes y equals 2x plus 1. So I've got that as that number and that as that number. Same with the second one, that's y equals a number multiplied by x plus negative plus a negative number. So it's the same format all the way through. This last one might look a bit different, but it's just y equals a number, which is 6 here, multiplied by x, plus another number, which is 0 in this case. So it's still the same format all the way through. And in math, linear graphs are generally written in the format y equals mx plus c. So that square there, it's just written as an m, and that's written as a c. So that's the general format of a linear graph. So you may remember what m and c meant from our first topic, linear equations, but we'll go into a bit more detail about those in another lesson. Alright, so let's go into plotting linear graphs. So we have y equals 1 plus 2x. Let's start with this one. So when plotting them, we're going to start off with a table of values. And for this example, we're just going to go from x equals 0 to x equals 4. So let's start off by drawing that down. Once we've got that, we're just going to replace x with 0 to start off. So that becomes y equals 1 plus 2 times 0, which just becomes y equals 1. I'll just write that in, because 2 times 0 gives me 0, so it becomes 1 plus 0, and then we get 1. And we'll just do it with the rest of it as well. So y equals 1 plus 2 times 1, because it's 2x. That gives me y equals 1 plus 2, which equals 3. So we're just going to keep doing that until we've filled in the whole table. Now I'm going to replace it with 2. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7. 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9. So that's my table of values to start off with. Once I've got that, I need to sketch a Cartesian plane. I'm going to use this one here, but you can do a rough sketch of that. We are now going to plot each of these points onto the Cartesian plane there. So when we're plotting points, remember we read the x first and then the y. X-axis goes across and y goes up, like so. So this is x equals 0, so I'm going to start there, and that's when y equals 1. So that's 0, 1 there. That's my first point. My next point is 1, 3. So x equals 1 is here, and y equals 3 is there. Next point is 2, 5. So x equals 2. That's here, and y is going to equal 5. That's there. That's 2, 5. I'll just label the points in as I go. And this one is 3, 7, so 3, 7, right there. So x is 3, y is 7, and 4, 9. So that goes right there. Once I've got all my points, I'm just going to sketch a straight line. Please use a ruler when you guys do this. And we're just going to show that this rule is continuous there by putting an arrow at the end. Once we've done that, there's one last step. We need to label the line. Make sure you put in the equation just to show what the line is. So that's how we would plot straight line graphs by hand. Let's try another question here. I'll plot the graph of y equals 8 minus 2x by forming a table of values of y using x equals 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's the same deal here. We're going to start off by plotting a table of values. Fill in these first, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It tells us to use these values there. Once I've got that, I'm going to replace x with these numbers as we go. The first one is x equals 0. That gives me y equals 8 minus 2 times 0. Y equals 8 minus 0, so y is just going to be 8. I'm going to keep doing that. Y equals 8 minus 2 times 1. That becomes 8 minus 2, which is 6. And if I keep going, that gives me 8 minus 4, which is 4, and 2, and 0. Once you've filled in these table values, we're just going to draw the Cartesian plane there again, and we're going to plot these values onto the table. So first point, 0, 8, just up here. Next one, 1, 6, just down there, and then 2, 4 over here, 3, 2, and 4, 0. And then we're going to draw a straight line going through. Draw arrows on either side to make show it keeps going on both ends. And finally label the line with the equation, which is y equals 8 minus 2x. Alright, so if you've got all those points in, you will get full marks for questions like this. Alright, so let me know if you do have any questions in the Google Meet. Otherwise, we'll move on to our last goal on how to do this using our CAS calculators. So all the steps are here, but let's have a go at doing it together. So get your CAS calculators out. Alright, so the first step is to open the graph and table applications. That's right there. Click on that. Once you've done that, just enter in the equation. We're going to use the equation 8 minus 2x for this. Once you've done that, press that icon on the top left there to plot the graph, and you'll get that there. So we're going to change the zoom a bit here just to make it easier to read. So go on to zoom, quick standard. Once you've done that, just press the resize button. So that's up the top. On yours, it will be straight on the calculator. So that lets us have a full view of the graph there. Alright, so your calculator should look like this at this point. Now we're going to find which points actually lie on the line. So click analysis and trace, and you'll be able to toggle through each of the points that are on the line using the arrow keys. We can also get a table of values from this graph just by pressing that button. Third from the left there, press that icon and you'll get a table of values there. So when x equals 1, y equals 6. When x equals 2, y equals 4. When x equals 3, y equals 2, and so on. And if you wanted to see more values, you can press this. You can start at 1. You can end it at 100. You could even start it at, let's say, -10. So it just shows you more values for x and y there. So that's how you make linear graphs and analyze them using a CAS calculator. And that brings us to the end of this video. Hopefully by now we have a better understanding of what a linear graph is, can create one by hand, and also can create and analyze a linear graph using a CAS calculator. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys all back on the Google Meets.